There's a few activities or tasks that I've been needing to learn within these past few months. And it's been just this resistance, these negative emotions that come when it's time for me to actually take a step towards it or to complete one of those tasks. And I thought back on some of those things that I do now that I didn't do before. One of those things being a change in my nutrition. I mean, there was a time when it was no big deal for me to eat half a box of wheat thins or eat multiple slices of bread with butter, well, margarine at that time, and honey. It was just no big deal. And when I started to learn more, had different goals for myself, there was a challenge in being able to change things, especially sugar. I mean, it was fat free. I made it healthy, right? But you know what? I thought back on that and, thank God we have that ability to reflect. And really, what really helps me to do that is when I actually pause and ask God, like, how can I do this? And time again, I'll be brought back to the importance of changing my perspective. So now I ask God, what do I need to read or think or whatever it is in order to change my perspective? Because when I look at things that I've changed in the past, for example, sugar, it's an extremely addictive substance. And it could really feel impossible to be able to stop eating carbs or processed carbs. I mean, I'm not talking about beans or sweet potatoes or whole, carbs. What I'm talking about is the sugar stuff. And it could be very challenging. I've said before, I remember one time when I initially was changing my habits and I had a different eating plan and I realized, oh my goodness, how much I thrived off of, complex carbs. And I had to go to the store and I didn't want to do it because I had to pass by the bread aisle, where they have the bread and the other, items there too. And just the smell of it was just so hard, to resist. And I was like, I dreaded not only having to resist it in that moment, but I dreaded having to resist it in the future. And it just stayed hard, especially when we had gatherings or whatever. And my body started to help me out and it didn't desire those things or that craving wasn't as strong. But in my mind, I still longed to be able to have those things, even though I didn't have them. And so I just dreaded having to fight that desire. And what I realized is that I can renew my mind about it. And when I started to see and learn more about the horrible effects that refined sugar, these refined carbs do on the body, you all, with the example of how it, man, was at the root of the health issues in my family. I saw it firsthand. I couldn't detach. They kept showing up in front of my face. And when I saw it and began to see it for what it was, I began to confirm that with my words. I was like, I have no desire to eat that. I have no desire to eat that, to the point to where now I can see it for what it is. And those times I'll go back and I'll take a little taste of it. It is so disgusting to where I have to spit it out. And I'm thinking, why do people think that this tastes good? Because it's an addictive substance. It's not that it tastes good. And I also started to look back on things that I like now that I didn't like before. Like peas. I didn't like peas before at all. And so I was like, wait a second. So you're telling me that I can tell myself what I like. I can see things for what they really are, which is the sugar. It's not food at all. And because of the reality of what it was and what I decided to see and think about that thing, then I could change that pull. And now I don't want to walk past the bread. I just don't even like the smell of it. I can smell something that's real and something that's chemicals. I can taste it. And I say this to say that when we look at these challenges that we have and we say, oh my goodness, am I not going to, it's all in your mind. Like you're thinking, my goodness, how am I going to resist? But all that time that I was having a challenge, that internal challenge, even though my actions were different, my mind hadn't changed. And so every time there was a gathering, I was like, oh, am I going to be able to resist? Or am I going to, give in? And it was that tug and pull on it. But now that stress is out of the body because I decided to. And that's what it is. For one, Whatever it is that you need to change with your nutrition or any other habit is because of how you see it. For two, anything that has to do with you, God cares about and He has a plan. So that's going to be your first go-to. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to renew your mind. You have the ability to renew your mind as to how you think about something, and that's going to be the key to you being able to change that. So today, don't be intimidated by, oh my goodness, these sweets are so good. For one, understand that it's a toxin. Start to educate yourself on what sugar really does. That's at the top of the list of the most effective benefit and the thing that makes the biggest results when people change them in their eating habits. I mean, your health prospers when you take out those chemical toxic sugars. And when you start to see it for what it is, see what it's really doing to your brain, what it's doing to the other components of your body, when you start to really learn that and see it for what it is, it's going to change your desires. And then from there, remind yourself, I don't like that. I enjoy eating things that are beneficial. I enjoy doing things that promote my health, my mind, and my spirit, and my body. And when you remind yourself of that, with the truth tied into that, you'll see those changes taking place without having to feel like, oh my goodness, do I have to resist? And so I'm reminded of that today as I step into these new things that I need to do, these new activities. For one, that God is with me, something He continues to remind me of, Isaiah 41:10. And then at the same time, that reminder, He's reminding us of the truth. That's what it is. When you read the word and you hear what God says, it's reminding you of the truth. And the truth is that He made your body and He knows that this is actually the best for your physical body. And so you can kind of step forward in that confidence, and you can also know that there's so much grace that He has for you, and so you can in turn give it to yourself and other people, you all. It's a good deal. All right, you all. So I just wanted to encourage you in that the solution is in your perspective. You can renew it, and God will help you. All right. I'll talk to you all soon. You have a blessed day.